Live from Buffalo's Memorial Auditorium, the Buffalo Stallions versus the Philadelphia Fever in Major Indoor Soccer League action.
This special sports presentation is being brought to you by Buffalo Savings Bank. You can believe in Buffalo. Tops Friendly Markets and Bristol-Myers. Budweiser, for all you do, this Bud's for you. Fuji, makers of fine photographic equipment. And by WUTV Buffalo 29. More and more people in Western New York and Southern Ontario are getting to know Buffalo 29.
Hi, everybody. Wayne Fuller with Fred Hartrick. Tonight, this tough interdivisional rival in the Eastern Division between the Philadelphia Fever and Buffalo Stallions. The Stallions have won 2 out of their last 3, trying to go for 3 out of 4. The Pittsburgh Spirit have not, or the Philadelphia Fever have not been quite as fortunate. They have won only 1 game, and that was against the Pittsburgh Spirit over 2 weeks ago, a 10-6 victory. The Stallions coming off today's game, off of last Sunday's game against the New York Arrows, losing 9-4. And the Philadelphia Fever, their last outing was a 4-3 loss a week ago to the Baltimore Blast. So it's the Stallions against the Philadelphia Fever tonight. We're at the auditorium in Buffalo, New York tonight. A good crowd on hand for this Eastern Division matchup.
They expected over 11,000 tonight, Wayne, and it certainly sounds like they have it at this time, although it's difficult for us to see because, as anyone can plainly see, all the lights are out. They're making the introduction of the Stallions players right now. I think this evening's game, perhaps to use a trite phrase, is going to be a key one, despite the fact that Philadelphia's record is the worst in the league. Obviously, anytime a team plays away from home, it's going to be more difficult for them. But sometimes teams that don't have records that are where they would like them to be can really get keyed up for a performance away from home. We've got to watch out for that with Philadelphia this evening. On the other hand, Buffalo is struggling to reach the 500 mark. They've been at it a couple of times this season. They're having difficulty getting over it. One of the problems that the Stallions are going to face this evening, of course, is Charlie Jordash. He was expected to be back, but his leg, the hamstring, is just not healing properly. Talking with Jim Pengelly, the trainer, he's indicated to us that the discoloration, the hemorrhaging is still taking place in the back of his leg. Right now it's up to Jordash himself as to when he thinks he's going to be able to go. The other problem they've had, Ernie Buriano, of course, is out this evening. He injured himself in the Arrows game, injury to his thigh muscle. He's finding it very difficult to walk. Whether or not he'll be playing tomorrow, I guess, is still up in the air. So there have been some adjustments made in the Stallions lineup this evening. We'll announce them to you, and we'll be back for the kickoff in just a moment.
And the home of the brave.
Wayne Fuller with Fred Hartrick back at the Aud in Buffalo. Tonight, the Buffalo Stallions and the Philadelphia Fever. Here we see the starting lineup for the Philadelphia Fever. It will be Michael Johansson at forward, Dave McWilliams, and Nicky Nikolic on defense. Alan Kelly defense, the captain, as you see the orange armband, and Tony Whalen on defense. A veteran player, Paul Coffey, former goalkeeper for the NASL champ Chicago Sting. There we see the Philadelphia bench. Now the starting lineup for the Buffalo Stallions. Here is Zoran Savic, who will start at forward. Jimmy May, the starting goalkeeper. That looks like Yilmaz Orhan forward. Dennis Mepham from Brighton, New York, defender. And there's John Dolinsky, midfielder, who's getting a rare start. And Jimmy Sinclair, defender. Sinclair still has his consecutive game streak going.
And there we see Coach Ray Klavecka. Bench for the rest of the Stallions. Zielinski is a surprise starter. As we indicated, he's not seen that much playing time at this stage. But he will get himself into a starting role this evening. And there's tonight's referee, Bill Maxwell, will be the ref on the floor from Geneseo, New York. Local gentleman. And in the box, Herb Silva, the alternate referee.
Jimmy Sinclair playing in his 86th consecutive Stallions game. He has never missed one. prior to tonight's national anthem, there was 30 seconds of silence for the president of the Phoenix Inferno, Rick Rigoni, who was tragically killed in an automobile accident just prior. And we pass along our regrets for that unfortunate happenstance. Philadelphia will kick off to start tonight's MISL Eastern Divisional matchup. The Fever 1-7, the Stallions 4-5. This is Dan Salvamini. Tried to get it to number 11, Elson Seal. It went too far for him. Sinclair takes over. Up to Orhan, Salvamini, and Orhan is going to be called for a trip. Bill Maxwell, quick with a whistle. Happened right in fighting for it with Noel Dixon. Here's Whalen and Dixon coming out. Break for Alan Kelly. Kelly goes in. The shot off the board. Rebound's cleared away by Pisano. Kelly tries to get it back. Pisano again clears it. McWilliams keeps it in. Pisano tries to tackle it away. He does. Noel Dixon, number 15. With Kelly. Dixon into the corner. Shot out in front. Goal! McWilliams.
Well, I think the Stallions defense got themselves mixed up there. We have the Philadelphia team doing a lot of man-for-man work, a lot of lateral running, etc. That time, most of the Stallions, and that we'll see here. He's wide open. Jimmy May couldn't come out any further. He'd have been outside the net, off the top of the bar, and in he went. Azevedo did not pick up his man as he went through to score. So, once again, the Stallions find themselves behind early in a match, which seems to be a bit of a trend nowadays. 1-0 with 8:10 remaining in the tight man-for-man marking that the Fever happens to be giving them at this stage. They're going to have to loosen themselves up, relax, control the ball, give 1- and 2-touch work. Here's another replay of the scissors kick that we just saw. Don't often see that in the indoor game. Seldom do you have that much of an opportunity, that much space to work it. Outdoors, sometimes it's kind of a showy thing. Indoors, that actually was the right time for him to use that particular skill. You can catch a goaltender unawares many times. He expects you to trap the ball or perhaps head it back the way it came. If you lay back and give one of those scissors kicks, and if you hit it right, you can catch a goalie looking the other way sometimes.
Glacius pokes it into the Philadelphia zone. There's only 3 Philadelphia players back. But Paul Coffey has it. Coffey on the year with a goals against average of 5.50. He's 0-4. Backup goalie Arto Perry has the only victory over Pittsburgh. Fleming Lund. Azevedo. And Coffey dives on it. Trying to get in there was Jermaine Iglesias. 1-0 Philadelphia lead. Kelly sends it all the way through back to Jim May. Jim May with a goals against average of 6.1. He is 2-3 on the season. May taking his time with 1:05 left. Passes it right to Kelly. Kelly, there's a shot taken by McWilliams. Cleared away by Lund. It's back to Kelly. McWilliams. Williams being marked by Lund. Kelly. Azevedo knocks it away. Here's Lashev. Spinning free. Lashev. McWilliams jumps in front of Lashev and was able to tackle it away. Even though he couldn't control it himself, he left it for a teammate. Noel Dixon, last year with Baltimore. Into the penalty area, and May plays it off the board. 34 seconds remaining. First quarter. Azevedo for Lashev. Lashev with 13 goals on the year. He's the only Stallion player to have scored a point in every game this season. Lund plays it off the boards. It goes right to Tony Whalen. 15 seconds left. Whalen brings it down the boards. Whalen right through the penalty area. A couple of Philadelphia players had a chance to put it in and couldn't, including Dixon and Steve Reed. 1 second left. That is the end of the first quarter of play with a score of Philadelphia 1 and Buffalo 0. We'll be back with second quarter action in just a moment. You're watching the Stallions on Buffalo 29 WUTV Buffalo.
So I think the Stallions are going to have some problems with this unless they continue their hard runs.
Walt Chisowitz is the coach of the Philadelphia Fever. Here he is with a Christmas greeting for us all.
Hi, I'm Walt Chisowitz, and I want to wish all the sports fans out there a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I hope you enjoy this game this evening.
Walt Chisowitz involved in all levels of the U.S. national program, the Olympic team, Pan Am, National Youth Team, Olympic teams, you name it, he was involved with it. And many of the players that he had over the years, the last few years anyway, are on the Philadelphia Fever.
Well, he worked very hard in trying to develop the U.S. national program. In many opinions, he was unable to meet with too much success. I think under some pressure, he decided to resign from that position when he had the opportunity to coach the Philadelphia Fever. So perhaps amateur soccer's loss is professional soccer's gain, although by Philadelphia's record so far, they are continuing to have similar problems.
Dennis Mepham as the Stallions kick off. Here is Alex Tarnosi, number 9, on for his first shift as a Stallion, coming over from the New York Arrows at the end of last week on a straight cash deal, he and Julie Hedgie. Here's Dennis Mepham. Mepham. Philadelphia out shooting Buffalo 9-8. Shot taken. Blocked out in front. And here's Zoran Savic as Savic steps around Seal, but they call Zoran for a foul, and the crowd doesn't like the call by Bill. Nikolic has Johansson on his left, McWilliams on his right. The shot to goal by Johansson. From McWilliams.
We've just seen 2 examples of what to do on a 3-on-2 break. The bad example by Buffalo, where Pisano moved into it, elected to carry the ball himself up the center, did not pass, got off a bad shot. Philadelphia came right back, came up the center, passed the ball off to the side, tried to use the boards, and despite the fact we had a Stallion defender back in there, it was still too much to handle for Jim May. So it's now 2-0 with 12:20 remaining in the period.
Trick. We just kicked off, starting play as the Stallions now find themselves down 2-0. The goal scored by Michael Johansson. That's his 6th of the year. Dave McWilliams getting the assist at 2:40. There's a shot by Russell and a goal.
Now, there was an excellent setup play. Russell knew that the ball was going to be coming back to him. He hit that ball just about as hard as any shot you're going to see hit indoors. May was right on top of it. Somehow it squeezed between his legs. But that was an excellent shot by him. And the crowd is cheering because it looks like Paul Maxey's coming into net. Coach Klavecka has decided that Jim May has had enough. Maybe he's re-injured his hand again. We're not sure. There's the replay right underneath him. A good, hard shot. I don't think you could fault Jim May for that one. But in this case, try to get some fire into this team. It looks like Klavecka has decided to go with Paul Maxey.
Russell getting the goal, assisted by Dave McWilliams. That's McWilliams' 3rd point of the night. He has a goal and 2 assists as he's figured in all 3 Philadelphia scores, and Philadelphia 3, Buffalo nothing. Seems like that's what happened the last home game here against the Baltimore Blast. Red line's in the center line. Comes right back to the red line. Indirect free kick for Buffalo. And Maxey's going to bring it up.
Not sure whether he's going to take it or Lund. I guess both.
Lund. Here's Savic. Savic to Lund. Savic on the right side. Into the middle. McWilliams puts it up into the stand. It will be a corner kick for Buffalo. It's
a good collapsing defense that the Fever are using. Anytime that ball goes in off the board, the players out front immediately move in and run towards it, try and catch it. Rebound. And there's one time they didn't get it. Excellent play, board play right off the corner kick. And we'll catch the replay on this very shortly as John Dolinsky, one of the most popular players on the Stallions team, I might add, moved in from deep position, was able to pick up that situation. There the ball came out to him, and he was wide open. That was the fault of the Fever defense, but we'll take it nonetheless, and it remains 3-1 now for the Fever with 5:32 remaining.
We'll be right back after this timeout on Buffalo 29 WUTV Buffalo.
They're coming in a little bit faster than he anticipates, but he's a little frustrated at this stage.
Noel Dixon took a shot. Dolinsky blocked it. 1:25 remaining. First half of play. Here's Orhan. Orhan getting around his man. Gets around Salvamini. Now Lashev with a shot off the boards. Orhan was obstructed. There's no call as he tried to go for that loose ball. Lund. 1:08 remaining in the quarter. Here is Lashev. Lashev dumped right at the edge of the area. Dolinsky knocks it down. Salvamini plays it out. Savage gets a piece of it. His shot blocked by Wayland. Dolinsky's shot again blocked by Wayland. 50 seconds left in the half. 3-1 in favor of Philadelphia. Fleming Lund. Lund Orhan. Drops it for Lund. Over to Lashev. Lashev to Savage. Back to Lashev. The shot. A save by Coffey.
Good give-and-go passing there. Savic hit Lashev on a nice give-and-go. Lashev just missed the corner.
Steve Reed couldn't pick it up. Lund has it. 28 seconds left. Plenty of time. Lund knocked away by McWilliams. It's going to be cleared by the Fever. Not out completely. Dolinsky, 17 seconds left. Savic runs into McWilliams. McWilliams causes enough commotion there, so Whalen comes away with the ball. Tony Whalen giving it for Steve Reed. Up on the left side. Reed into the penalty area. Loose ball cleared by Lund. 1 second left. Orhan to Lashev, and that is the end of the first half of play. And after 30 minutes of play, the score is Philadelphia 3, Buffalo 1. We'll be back with our halftime activities in just a moment. You're watching the Stallions on Buffalo 29 WUTV.
At 2 when Mississippi State faces Kansas in the 5th Annual Hall of Fame Bowl from Alabama. Be sure to catch All-American linebacker Johnny Cooks of Mississippi State in action. Then at 8, the Michigan Wolverines clash with the UCLA Bruins in the Bluebonnet Bowl. Watch for Wolverine Todd Schlappe and Bruin quarterback Ron Pitts, both from Western New York. Don't miss this holiday college football spectacular starting at 2 with the Hall of Fame Bowl and the Bluebonnet Bowl at 8. New Year's Eve Day here on Buffalo 29.
We're back at the auditorium. Wayne Fuller with Fred Artrick, and you see those funny pieces of paper on your TV set? Well, everybody would like to have those pieces of paper because that is U.S. currency in various denominations. And there are 6 people on the floor. There you see a close-up of some of the money. Was that a $10 bill, Fred? No, there's a 1. I recognize the 1s quicker than I recognize the 10s.
Don't we all?
There's 6 contestants who were chosen at random by seat number, and they will have X amount of time, I believe probably 1 minute, to see how much cash they can pick up, called the Dash for Cash. There's 3, they're all men too, aren't they? No, 1 woman. There's 1 woman amongst them. Maybe 2 women. We're so high up here you can't tell a woman from a man.
You better explain that well. Now, I saw this promotion last year. I was a little skeptical at first. I thought maybe people were going to knock each other over and attempting to gather the cash, but they've spread it out in a wide enough area, extending right from one sideboard to the other. And each one of them is going to be given one of those buckets, I believe, in which to stash the cash, as it were. And they also, I believe, have a prize at the end for the person that ends up gathering the most money.
Yes, but the most important thing is that any left over comes up here to the broadcast booth.
Don't we wish?
Yeah, it's all scattered around. There's one of the females. That definitely is a female. Well, we are at halftime with the score Philadelphia 3 and Buffalo 1. There's 3 of the people from the right side. There they get all the buckets in 60 seconds.
We'll give everybody 6.
In just a moment, they will start. This should be a free-for-all.
Oh, wait.
I'm not sure what kind of strategy one would use in this. I think you just get down there on your hands and knees and scoop up all you can. I suppose having large hands might be a help here. As long as you don't have a hole in your bucket, that could also be a problem.
There's our other female contestant, who's down to our left.
Well, the only thing they might lose is the foot race to the cash, but I don't think you lose that many seconds. Here comes the count.
4, 3, 2, 1, go!
There we go.
Let's hear you describe this one, Wayne. They don't have any numbers on.
They don't have any numbers, that's right. Well, there's the gentleman in the white shirt. Looks like he's scooping pretty well. See if anybody's got a better system than anybody else. They seem to be all working in the general area that they started from.
I'll tell you, if the cleaners in the auditorium worked that fast, the city of Buffalo would be rich.
Got to pack it into the bucket. I see the one guy had it pop up on him as he put it into the bucket.
30 seconds.
30 seconds left for them. Looks like they're doing pretty well. Each one of them staying in his own little spot there, or her own spot, and gathering all they can.
Down to 17 seconds left.
Let's give them a countdown when we get to 10 seconds here.
$1,000 is what the sum total was.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Stop.
And it is over. The dash for cash is over. And they'll have to total it all up and see who comes away with the most amount of dollars. We'll be back with more of our halftime activities in just a moment. The score here from the odd in Buffalo is Philadelphia 3 and Buffalo.
Hi, I'm Ray Klevecka, coach of the Buffalo Stallions. I'd like to take this opportunity to wish every one of you a very happy holiday season.
I guess now all there is left to wish is Happy New Year. 1981, soon a thing of the past. We are at halftime at the odd in Buffalo. Philadelphia leading Buffalo 3-1. Philadelphia outscoring Buffalo 1-0 in the first quarter, and then 2-1 in the second quarter. There you see the shots, 21-16, Buffalo out shooting Philadelphia. 7 saves for Buffalo and 6 saves for Paul Coffey of Philadelphia. The 7 saves for Buffalo are split up this way, 4 for May and 3 for Maxey, but Jimmy May was charged with the 3 goals. Buffalo has had 2 power plays, scoring on 1 of them. Philadelphia with 1-man advantage situation, not scoring at all.
No, we've had no injury report from the bench, so we can only assume that Coach Klevecka thought that Jim May wasn't in top form this evening and decided to go with Maxey. Maxey has handled himself very well back in there this evening as we're now ready to start the third period.
Philadelphia will kick off, attacking the goal to our right. That's where Paul Maxey is. The Stallions will be attacking the goal to our left, and that's where Paul Coffey is. Seal giving it to Dixon in the corner, being marked by Mepham. Mepham tackles it away, plays it to Maxey. 3-1, Philadelphia leading. The Stallions have got to get some balls in the back of the net. Jimmy Sinclair playing in his 86th straight game. Orhan. Back to Sinclair. Dennis Mepham saw his wife before the game, Jody. They are expecting their first child last week. She's still expecting. I just told her I hope it isn't during the game tonight. Here is Dolinsky leaving it for Mepham. Shot just wide right. Rebound. Saved by Coffey and punched out into Lund to Beidel. Beidel off the boards out front. Orhan has his shot blocked. Maxey comes way up to the midfield line to get it. Lund. Minute 22 remaining in the penalty. Being served by Steve Reed. Too many men on the field. Stallions already scored on the power play tonight. Their lone goal. Lashev digs it free. Lashev out to Beidel. A goal!
Oh, excellent individual work by Mike Lashev over in the corner as he gets his second assist of the evening. Mario Beidel scoring the goal in the proper position. I think the Fever that time were caught a little bit unawares. They had started to move upfield just before that, thinking that their player over there on the side would be able to get the ball by Lashev. Lashev dragged both players in. Fine play by Beidel. Even though he got the ball up a little bit too high, he did put it into the corner. So now with that man advantage goal, the Stallions find themselves right back in this game. 3-2 lead now for Philadelphia with 8:25 remaining.
Mario Beidel getting his second goal of the year. Lashev getting the assist.
With his second point of the night, assisting number 18, Mike Lashev. Time of the goal, 6:35.
Lashev now with 2 assists. Beidel and Dolinsky getting the Buffalo goals. It's 3-2. We still have 8:25 remaining in the third quarter.
A lot of faith in him by putting him in there when Jim May was having some problems, and he's responding quite admirably.
Whalen, Williams, number 3. Down the left side for Clark. Around the board, shot. Rebound, blocked. McWilliams shot. Still loose. And there's the goal. By Elson Seal.
Well, it was almost like Maxey was by himself on that one. He came up with 2, maybe 3 fine saves. As Mepham is having a little difficulty getting up. He appears to be all right. Looks like he may have had a hand stepped on. Here we'll see this great flurry of activity as the Fever came in with 1 shot, 2 shot. He got a hand on that one. There's another one, 3. Mepham in position. The ball gets fed back. There's another save. That's 4. There's 5. Well, I don't know what more you can ask of a goalie. 5 saves in the space of probably 5 seconds. Seal came from back out. Wide open. Notice nobody's on Seal at all, and there he is in. So everybody was converging on the ball. Not the best thing to do defensively for the Stallions.
Time of the goal, 7 minutes, 50 seconds.
So it will be Elson Seal. Tim Clark getting the assist as he played the ball last before Seal just put it into the empty net. 7:10 remaining in the third quarter of play. Philadelphia now leading Buffalo by a score of 4-2. For Seal, it was his 7th goal of the season. And next Saturday night against the Cleveland Force. 8:05 here at the odd. Mepham's shot is blocked by Kelly. A pair of number 3s. Mepham number 3 and Kelly number 3. Mepham gets it back. Shot, goal!
Well, there you go. He got by the first time. They stopped him. They dared him to come back again. He did it, and he scored. Dennis Mepham. A lot of people feel that he could be used just as well at the forward position as well as on defense. He sure showed it that time. And he comes with the play. And a fine shot. Quickness was the important thing there. Putting the ball by Captain Kelly. And 4-3, Fever lead the Stallions.
We'll be right back in just a moment. Second power play opportunity. They were unable to convert to the first time. They only had 41 seconds because they took a quick penalty. Lashev in the box, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct at 14:08. 44 seconds left in the quarter. Ball is loose, out in front. Knocked away. Tarnosi comes in. Russell, shot, goal!
Well, that unfortunately is what happens when players lose their temper out there. It costs us a goal. I think on that one, I'm not even sure the Philadelphia Fever player was in a position to kick the ball. It might have simply rebounded off him as we're watching the replay. Back out, Sinclair made a nice move, but Russell was right there where he had to be, off the boards and in. I'm not even sure it hit a Fever player in there. But nonetheless, the Fever goes right up, a 2-goal lead, 5-3 now. 36 seconds remaining in the third period.
McWilliams getting the goal, Russell picking up the assist, so McWilliams must have deflected it someplace out in front. So just about 16 seconds after Lashev goes to the penalty box, the Fever make it 5-3, and now here's a penalty against Philadelphia.
Well, they came right back at him. Maxwell for sure is not going to allow this game to get out of hand. Iglesias got himself tripped up in there. Nick Nikolic was the dirty doer, and we'll catch a replay on this one. Ball comes down. Iglesias in good position. Nikolic just simply gave him a bit of a nudge from the back. Iglesias went down. So we have these Stallions right back with an opportunity to get themselves in this game. 30 seconds remaining in the period. Philadelphia 5 and the Stallions 3.
27, Nicky Nikolic for tripping. Time of the penalty, 14:30.
Nikolic going 2 minutes for tripping at the 14:30 mark. Stallions on the power play now. They just gave up a power play goal. Lund with a shot, loose ball, Orhan, and it's cleared out of there by the Fever defense. Salvamini.
One extreme to the other. Most of the time the Stallions don't have enough players in there. That time they had too many. Lashev moved in, Orhan moved in. That was a good shot by Lashev from outside.
Back now to Fleming Lund. 9 seconds left in the quarter. There's Savage, Coffey, and it's going to be cleared away by Wayland. 1-0. That is the end of the third quarter of play with the score Philadelphia 5 and Buffalo 3. And we'll be right back with the fourth quarter. Activities. Look at that man grab the money. That was at halftime, grabbing the cash.
I'm not sure they went that fast, but when you got that kind of money laying in front of you, you'd like to go that fast. I know that. Last timeout was called by Philadelphia. I think they're so eager to get a victory out of this thing that Coach Chisowich wants to make very sure that his players know what type of defensive tactics he wishes them to employ. We'll see if we can pick it up here.
There's a shot by Russell. Seal, goal! Elson Seal off the right post.
Well, like sometimes they say the best defense is a good offense, they showed it there. An excellent shot. I'm not sure what the Stallions were thinking that time. We'll see if we can catch something on a replay here. There's the shot come back. Russell, who had that cannon goal we saw earlier. Ball rebounded right out. Dixon got a piece of it, and there's Seal putting it right into the corner. Maxey had to come out on that particular situation. Here's another view of it. Let's see if Seal had anybody in front of him. No, he didn't. He broke right in there. Wide open, into the post. 6-3, and we're back into play.
So it is now 6-3 in favor of Philadelphia as the save is made by goalkeeper Maxey. And the Stallions now down 3 goals with 4:43 to play. Orhan. Tarnosi out in front. Coffey juggles it, and it's cleared by his defense. Here's Elson Seal, who just scored the goal, giving Philadelphia a 3-goal lead. Elson Seal. Seal off of Dixon. Won by Mepham, back to Maxey, and we've got a foul. It's against Philadelphia. It'll be a... And the Stallions will be in Baltimore tomorrow evening for a game against the Baltimore Blast. Our next game here on Buffalo 29 will be January the 23rd against the New York Arrows, 8 o'clock here at the Auditorium. Minute 20 remaining, fourth quarter, 4 seconds left in the penalty. Lund, Clark will be on in just a moment. Clark is on now. Meade heads it over into the corner for Orhan. Dixon has it knocked away. Lund, now to Maxey. 1 minute remaining in the fourth quarter. 6-3 Philadelphia. Orhan. This is a game Buffalo's going to kick themselves for letting it get away. Orhan. Shot blocked. Into the crowd off of Philadelphia will be a kick in Buffalo. 40 seconds remaining in the game.
Well, Wayne, they may kick themselves for not getting this game, which they definitely should have won. I think against a 1-7 team and then their home court advantage. But speaking of kicking, they've had difficulty putting the thing anywhere near the net most of the time. And when they have put it in there, goalie Coffey, who I'm sure will end up as one of the stars of the game, has been able to stop just about everything.
Orhan. Orhan to Fleming Lund. Last weekend in the MISL, at least on Saturday night, didn't hold true for Sunday, but every visiting team won last Saturday night. Here's Lund. Back into midfield for Maxey with 17 seconds left. 13. Knocked away. There's a shot. And it's going to roll just wide to the left. 7 seconds left. That was Dixon taking the shot. Lund, 3 seconds, 2, 1. That is it. The final score from the Auditorium in Buffalo, New York. The Philadelphia Fever 6 and the Buffalo Stallions 3. And we'll be right back in just a moment. Wayne Fuller with Fred Hartrick back at the Auditorium in Buffalo, where Pittsburgh has beaten Buffalo by a Philadelphia has beaten Buffalo by a margin of 6-3. And immediately after the game, we had a little flare-up on the field. There you see Coach Walt Chisowitz very upset with Bill Maxwell. Maxwell called 7 penalties against Philadelphia compared to only 2 for Buffalo, 2 against Buffalo.
Well, that's one of the things that Chisowicz has been known for, and I think unfortunately so, in his work with the U.S. national team. A lot of the writings from abroad have indicated that perhaps the efforts of the U.S. teams and the U.S. players have been to good advantage, but they don't like some of the tactics that are being used, mostly the roughhouse style of play, players being told to go out and get other players, et cetera, et cetera. So Chisowicz perhaps gave us a little bit of insight as to some of the things that he has done in the past. A very strange situation with Philadelphia only winning its second game of the year. You'd think he'd be very happy and might want to go up and shake hands with the officials, but nonetheless, there's the #1 star of the game, Dave McWilliams, who had 2 goals and 2 assists this evening. Fine player, constantly in the penalty area, moving around well, feeding off goals, getting goals himself. A fine all-around player. #2 star was goaltender Paul Coffey, who came up with some superb saves, some of which he did not see, but once again, nonetheless, half of goaltending indoors is just being in the right position. Now, the #3 star was Elson Steele, I think one of the fastest players we've seen on the floor this year, who scored 2 goals himself with no assists.
Well, for Chisowitz, at the end of the game, he received a yellow card from referee Bill Maxwell, and then when he persisted, after being cautioned, he was shown the nice, pretty red card. So I imagine there will be some action taken against the Philadelphia coach, Walt Chisowitz. Well, for Buffalo, John Dolinski, Mario Beidel, and Dennis Mepham scored the goals, but it wasn't enough to offset Philadelphia's 6 goals. As the Stallions go down to defeat 6-3 here at the Auditorium in Buffalo, New York. Our next game here on Buffalo 29 will be Friday, January 23rd against the New York Arrows here in Buffalo. This is Wayne Fuller for Fred Hartrick, hoping you enjoyed this Buffalo 29 Buffalo Stallions telecast. We'll see you January 23rd.